Okay, so yesterday from this recording, I don't know when we can this video on, there was the Capcom kind of E3 presentation that they had, and overall it was kind of disappointing, but they had a Resident Evil section, and it was okay. They talked about the DLC that was coming for Resident Evil 8 Village, or Resident Evil Village, I don't know if there is an A in there, but at least they told you something about it, whereas last year for the same thing, it was just DLC's coming soon. It's like, that's it? That's what we waited the entire show to hear, that DLC's coming soon? We kind of knew that already, so thankfully this time they did talk about the DLC, and apparently there's like a new story campaign DLC that's coming to Resident Evil 8, which honestly doesn't look that interesting to me, but at least it's something. And then there's also going to be a third-person mode added into the game, which is kind of cool. And then there's like more with like mercenaries and whatnot. But the thing that kind of really surprised me, or made me happy, it wasn't so much a surprise, is they said, while you're waiting for that DLC to arrive in October, we are giving you something you can enjoy right now. And that is Resident Evil 2, 3 Remake, and Resident Evil 7 have all been released on PS5 with native PS5 versions and Xbox Series X versions. And if you already own the 3 games, like I do, you get the upgrade for free. So it was like awesome. I found out last night I'm getting 3 brand new games. And so now one hiccup is I've already reviewed Resident Evil 2 and 3. Or probably should be the other way around, but and so, like, am I going to review these same games again? It's the same game, it's just better graphics, and I thought instead I would just kind of do like a look at the new graphics. Now, I do kind of want to play these games again with the improved graphics, but I have a lot I need to get to. So I did a quick look at Resident Evil 2 last night, and the one thing that is a huge win for me is on the PlayStation 4, this came in at 39 gigs total with with like a couple pieces of DLC I had, but like the game updates and whatnot, it was 39 gigs. Kind of beefy. And the PS5 version is 21 gigs, so you automatically are getting a whole bunch more space with the PS5 version over the PS4 version. That might be my favorite aspect of this upgrade, is the much smaller file size, so I absolutely love that. The other thing that they've added is better loading. So playing the PS4 version on a PS5 through its solid state drive wasn't that obnoxious because it did load relatively fast. You only had to wait like maybe 10 to 15 seconds for it to load on the solid state drive, so it's like, okay, I mean, you can live with that. But the PS5 version, literally, it's just hit X to play, and you hit start campaign and snap the fingers, hit X to play, and you're right into it. So it's much faster, even though it wasn't having any serious speed problems before. But so I absolutely love the faster speed, and I absolutely love the smaller storage space, because storage on current or next gen consoles is so crucial now these days, and any chance anyone can get to make stuff smaller, I applaud them. Because the PS5 has the most pathetic storage ever. So there's 3 kind of modes you got with this. The first is a super fast frame rate mode, which I can't experience because I don't have a TV that can do 120 frames per second. And the other 2 modes is the high frame rate mode or the ray tracing mode. Now, the high frame rate mode is kind of the worst thing to call it, because that's what the 120 mode is. But just the better frame rate mode is when you turn off ray tracing. And so the game will then look like it did on the PS4, but it'll be running at 60 frames per second. And it looks great moving that fast. I absolutely love that. But if I have to choose what I'm going to experience the game with, it's probably going to be the ray tracing mode, simply because you get all kinds of new illumination effects, and ray tracing is really nice. It actually fixed one of my criticisms in my Resident Evil 2 review, where I was talking about like how some reflections on the walls didn't quite deliver properly. And with this, the same wall I was looking at with reflections, it was much smoother, much nicer. And so if I have to give it something, I think I have to give it to the ray tracing mode. It does keep it down at 30 frames per second, and you do get that like choppy feel after looking at the 60 frames per second with having the ray tracing mode off. So that's unfortunate that they couldn't get the ray tracing to run at 60 frames per second. I mean, we're talking about a system that claims to be able to do 8K, and yet developers haven't been able to get the 4K to run at 60 frames per second. So I'm a little bit dubious about that 8K moniker on the PS5 box. So yeah, I absolutely love that this is a free upgrade. Now, if you got this through PlayStation Plus monthly games, they won't allow it. But if you bought this physically or digitally, you get the free upgrade. And so that's pretty neat. I like that. I got a little bit more space back on my hard drives. And so overall, if you get Resident Evil 2 on the PS5 or Xbox Series X, absolutely get it, because this game was gorgeous on the PlayStation 4. On a stock PlayStation 4 Slim, it was gorgeous. And now on PS5 with ray tracing, this thing is magnificent. So absolutely, I think it's an incredible upgrade. And I absolutely love that Capcom updated this game, even though they didn't need to. So eventually I will be doing a look at the graphics on Resident Evil 3, how the update works on that one. It'll probably be the similar thing. And then with Resident Evil 7, I haven't reviewed that game yet. There's a lot I need to do with that game. I have all the DLC I gotta deal with, all the VR mode I gotta deal with, and then how the original compares with the new PS5 version. So I will eventually get around to doing Resident Evil 7. It's just there's a lot there to take in. So anyway, yeah, that's been my thoughts on the new graphical upgrade with Resident Evil 2 on the PS5. And my name's Christopher Collin with 11 Hour Reviews. Don't forget to, do the thing. The thing. The thing that helps me out a lot. And that will be all.